3 diet hacks to prevent binge eating or emotional eating at night. Let's talk about that. Number 1, front load your calories earlier in the day. Let me explain why. Most people wake up, they don't eat when they wake up. They wait several hours and they'll have a cereal bar or a protein bar, maybe a whey shake, and they definitely have a jumbo-sized cup of coffee. And then noon rolls around, and that's when really most people even eat their first real meal. And then they end up having a chicken breast with some veggies or chicken breast and salad or something along those lines. Then they go, and then maybe early afternoon they have a snack, a handful of almonds. Then they might have another whey shake or a Jell-O cup or a yogurt cup. Then it's to the gym where they have another whey shake after that. And then usually at night, their last meal, they'll have tuna veggies, chicken and rice, tuna veggies. Basically, they've eaten twigs and berries all day, okay? So what ends up happening is an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours after their last meal, they get severe hunger and cravings, and it can lead or trigger or make them more susceptible to binge eating, emotional eating. So when you front load your calories earlier in the day, what that does is that begins to get your caloric needs met. Your body has a baseline caloric or energy demand that it requires for the day. Okay, there's a baseline. And when you're below that baseline, then you're going to get severe hunger signals. You're going to get craving signals to the brain. And what happens is when people don't even really eat any real food until noon, what ends up happening is they still have to make up for the deficit they're already in. And they end up having to backload those calories later in the day to reach that deficit. So we want to prevent that by waking up and start filling up the energy demands for the day. All right, that's hack number 1. Number 2, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to cut out all cheat meals. You want to remove all cheat meals from your diet. Let me explain why that is. Cheat meals, well, first of all, you'll never need a cheat meal. You'll never need a cheat meal if you eat enough healthy food during the day or during the week. Right away, you'll never need a cheat meal if you eat enough healthy food during the day or during the week. And I understand. You got a graduation ceremony, a birthday party, an anniversary. I get that. I get it. You're going to go out to eat, have a fancy dinner, have cocktails. I get all that. Okay, if you're on vacation, you should do that. But that's about 6-7 times a year tops, really. But outside of that, you should be eating a lot of healthy food. And you won't need a cheat meal. These people that want to go and have a cheat meal during the week, and the cheat meal ends up being a gargantuan binge meal, and the reason for that is because they underate during the week so severely, they use the cheat meal to kind of fill the gap, so to speak, or make up from their severe deficit. So let me explain why a cheat meal is so pernicious. Is that there's an old saying, and I love saying this: never let go of the wheel, or else you might lose control. Never let go of the wheel, or else you might lose control. And so many people are doing good on their eating program, and they'll go and they'll have their cheat meal, brownies, ice cream, whatever it may be. And it ends up triggering an all-out jailbreak binge. It can reignite cravings. Here's something else I like to say is that once you cross the line of compromise, it's very difficult to turn back. Once you cross the line of compromise, it's very difficult to turn back. And that's what that cheat meal is. We want to prevent that. It can be a gateway to binge eating, and I can't tell you how many people have actually really ruined their progress from trying to reward themselves with a cheat meal. Don't do it. All right, 3rd diet hack on how to prevent binge eating or emotional eating at night is, and I touched on this a little bit on yesterday's diet hacks, or the last one I posted. But what I want to speak about on this is that the last meal of your day, don't have a tiny meal. Oftentimes people will have a teensy little bitty meal the last meal of the day. And the reason the last meal of your day needs to be arguably your biggest meal is because you're not going to eat again for 10, 11, maybe 12 hours. If you eat your last meal at, we'll just say 7 o'clock at night, and you don't eat again until 7 a.m., that's 12 hours. Now granted, you're asleep for 6 to 8 of those hours probably, or somewhere in that neighborhood. But the point being is that you got a huge gap of time where you've got to go without food. And you want to, I'm not saying have a gargantuan sized meal, but have a calorie rich meal. And that's a great time to have healthy fats. I touched on this yesterday. Fats are satisfiers. Fats crush cravings. fats promote satiety, and you wanna really go that, you know, 10, 11, 12-hour gap between your last meal of the day and the first meal the next day. And fats are a great source of fuel and energy and calories to fill that gap. So have a, I don't know how much, 2 tablespoons, half an avocado, whatever you're eating. Now we'll make one bullet point on that. Be careful with nut butters and nuts. Be careful with that. They can trigger a furious jailbreak binge. Okay, don't wait till you're really hungry to eat that, because they can throw you off. But the point is that have those rich, healthy fats in a good amount. That depends on how big you are, on how much you would eat. Have that last meal of the day to protect yourself for the rest of the evening and until the next morning. Guys, use these 3 diet hacks to prevent binge eating and emotional eating. And if you would, if you like this, and if I helped you, do me a favor, like the video below and go ahead and share it, because that way we can get more eyeballs on here. Because I guarantee you know people. If you don't have this struggle or this challenge, I guarantee you know people that do. And we want to get the word out and help as many people as we can with this. And also, if you have any topics you want me to tackle on diet hacks, post the topic below and I'll probably do a video on it. Guys, have a great day, and remember, don't ever let one bad meal beat you twice. WetWolfTraining.com, Wet Wolf Nutrition, signing out.